Hey, Baker, we got the news today about, Jack being out and some of the other guys. And I know JC wasn't there today. So, what's it like to kind of have to start preparing for a team like the Eagles, especially with the pass rush that they have without your right tackle and whatnot?
Yeah, obviously the Eagles team, a lot of great players up front. Um, I think their play speaks for itself, but we're going to keep that same mentality of adapt to whatever happens and next man up mentality. So it's whatever happens. We can't control a lot of it. We can only hope to improve and move forward.
You've been through this where you had to be a high risk contact before, so you kind of know what those guys are going through. Are you pretty optimistic that if all goes well, that you'll have them back for the game on Sunday?
Absolutely. Yeah. When you're sitting there at home, you want to be at practice, you want to be with everybody, but it just, to me, it kind of makes you lock in a lot more mentally because you're not getting the physical reps. And with the guys that are in the protocol right now, I think they'll handle it just as that is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Next up is going to be Jake Trotter.
Yeah, hey Baker. It looks like there's rain in the forecast for Sunday again. We'll see what happens. But what is it like for you playing in these kind of weather games? When it's that brutal outside, you have to change your mentality at all. Is there any part of you that enjoys playing in those kind of conditions? And then your thoughts on the potential of like another kind of horrible weather day.
I don't know if the forecast has as much wind as the past two, but
Right.
I enjoy seeing how everybody handles it. Everybody has to deal with the same conditions, so if you can adapt and handle it the best way possible, then great. And so that's my mentality going into it, week in and week out. It's just take care of the ball. The teams that make the least amount of mistakes in those types of games and control the ball. And just kind of stay as efficient as possible. It's a big field position game. When you have games that weather affects it that much, one first down when you're backed up to maybe change the field position when you punt the ball, just to really kind of control that and play chess and not checkers.
Thanks, Jake. We'll go to Scott Petrick for our next question.
Hey, Baker, you mentioned the Eagles pass rush real quickly. What stands out about it, specifically Brandon Graham? What makes him so good?
He's a very experienced player. I just think he's extremely smart. His talent, physical talent, he can kind of do it all. He's very quick, but he recognizes plays and schemes quickly. And I think you mix that with physical talent. It's a pretty great combo. And then obviously Fletcher's play speaks for itself. He kind of gave me my welcome to the NFL moment, rookie year in a preseason game. Tossed me like a rag doll. So I'm familiar with Fletcher.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Next up, Steve Dorshik.
Baker, do you accept that this is a passing league? And that's something Joe Thomas, when he was here, would go around and around about every year. This is a passing league. You can't get by just running. When the weather gets back to normal on the days it does, are you guys going to have to really be sharp in the pass? And is that something you've consciously thought about?
I think you have to be able to do whatever it takes to win. Some games, it just kind of depends on who you're playing. Are they going to load up the box? Are they going to try and stop the run? Or are they going to, play the split safety, allow you to run the ball and keep the ball in front of them? So it's a mentality of whatever it takes. You just have to attack, and whatever they're stopping, you have to go the opposite way.
Doug Peterson said today that the running game needs to go to complement what you do best. Boots, play action, stuff like that. Do you agree with that?
I think that's our offense as a whole. We run the ball to set up play action, our shots, our movements, to keep teams off track, make everything look similar. I can just say I agree.
Thanks, Steve. Nate Orrick, we'll go to you.
Hey, Baker, I know you said taking care of the ball is your mentality in these weather games. How much did it mean to you to get out of the game Sunday without any turnovers? And is there anything you learned about yourself through the past couple of games? I mean, not to say you've never played in weather. I know how windy it is how windy it can be where you played college ball, but is there something that you found in yourself or something that you've learned from these past two crazy condition games?
Those are the two windiest games I've ever been a part of. You really have to try and get a tight spiral, because if you have any sort of wobble on it, the wind will affect it extremely. So just learning that on some of these throws, really have to put some mustard behind them and try and judge the wind as best as possible. Like the throw before halftime to Jarvis, it just kind of carried on me. I tried to put touch on it, but it just got caught in that jet stream and went right over his head. So there's some things that you can prepare for, but trying to play the wind is another ball game.
Thank you, Nate. Scott Petrick, you have our next question.
Hey, Baker, you've talked a lot about the 1-2 punch at running back. But when you're out there, do you see it wearing down the defenses? Like, do you notice kind of the defense is just getting beat up by it?
Yeah, no, you can definitely tell later in the games. Obviously, those guys breaking more and more tackles. Just the effort on defensive guys. You can tell the way they approach those guys, whether they're coming in with the same intensity or they're diving early and not wrapping up. So they wear on those guys in our O-line. They feed off that. They see those guys breaking tackles. They continue to push the pile. So it's not only just our backs, but everybody as a whole blocking for them.
Did you get a good view of Nick's long run and how he was able to turn the corner when it looked like the Texans had it read?
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous when it got strung out that long. Just being on the other side of the field when he cut it loose, that was something pretty cool to watch. You know, he's moving. I didn't think he was going to step out of bounds, but he did.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Dale Ryder, you're up.
Hey, Baker, your rookie year, you got a little taste of a playoff race, if you will. You guys were mathematically live. You went to Denver, got that big win. As you look at this season, I know you play them one at a time, but you're 6-3. There's a bunch of other 6-3 teams, and just every game right now means so much going down the stretch. So can you draw off that experience your rookie year? And if so, what do you take away from that?
I'd say it's just very different, to be quite frank. We're very cognizant of the big picture. Rookie year, we knew we had to win every single game just to have a chance. And right now, we're just trying to treat it the same way. So I guess that's the only similarity. But we have a big picture mindset, but a singular game focus. So that's how we're going to handle it.
Thanks, Daryl. Nate Ulrich, back to you.
I was going to ask you something similar, so to kind of follow up on that, are you succeeding in blocking out the playoff picture when all these teams are 6-3? Everybody in Cleveland is so excited, obviously, because the team hasn't been in the playoffs since 2002. Are you able to shut it out at this point with everything getting so tight?
Yeah, no, we know that this is a tough league to play in, so we got to handle it one game at a time. And no team's going to be in the playoffs right now, no matter the record, no matter what's going on. Anything can happen any week at a time, so we have to handle it as such.
Thank you, Nate. Mary Kay Cabot.
Hey, Baker, are you going to have some chicken soup sent over to Miles Garrett's house? And also, you know, when you don't have Miles, and I guess he might be able to come back on Friday if he's feeling okay. But when you're preparing for a pass rush like this and you guys don't have Miles on a Wednesday or a Thursday, does that impact you guys trying to get ready for the Eagles?
No, because at this point in the season, we're not necessarily going up against our guys as much during practice. But we just have to prepare like we're playing the best week in and week out, like we always do. But yeah, I'll send Miles some soup and maybe some poems he can read up on.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Tom Withers, you have our next question.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Baker. I hope you can hear me okay. Going back to what Scott asked you about the running game, there was a time when Oklahoma quarterbacks had to be able to run it better than they could throw it. But in terms of what you guys can do now with the Browns, does that fire you up, Baker, when you see Kareem and Nick doing what they're doing and the line opening holes and just the chains moving? I know you want to throw the ball, but does the running game pump you up as well?
100%. It's whatever it takes to win. The stats I could care less about. The one stat that I care about is wins and losses. So, and our running game is something special when we get it going, and we have to continue to improve that. And we got back on track a little bit on Sunday, and we need to continue that and continue to improve as this year goes on, because it's such a vital part about our offense, but also our team. You talk about controlling the clock, momentum of the game, being able to put teams away when you're up by 3 points late in the game, having a 4-minute drive, taking time off the clock so our defense can get rested, and then our pass rush can go after these guys and put pressure on them. So it's fun to watch offensively just because it opens up things in our pass game, but it's a huge part about our team.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Jake Trotter. We need to make this our last question.
Yeah, Baker, College Game Day is going to Norman this weekend. You have any thoughts on the Bedlam game?
Jake, what are you trying to stir up right now?
Just seeing if you're going to say anything.
The little brother always needs to be put in his place, Jake. You know that.